Greetings. Getting ready to get my day started, and I decided to go ahead and cover this live. This is gonna be an interesting couple of next few episodes tied into the number 16. We're not gonna drop off of that number because I didn't know, but this turned out to be one of my most successful numbers as far as the episodes, because I actually won some credit off of some land that I purchased a while back, and I made an episode on that land called Betting in Commerce, and you can check that out. And in that land, I have a block of land on that episode that I show you guys, and that's where I'm getting ready to head to now, because that land is now collecting equity. And here's an equity check. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but here's an equity check. I'm in the sun, so, and it's not a lot. But you guys gotta remember, I'm coming from a situation where I didn't have anything 3 years ago. Anything. I lost everything, and I'm starting over, and it's becoming really successful. So I just want to share everything with everybody, and go into some information that's getting ready to go down in government, though, on another level, though, because and I'm starting to rise up in this, and as I get initiated into this, I'm seeing this more and more. There's two governments. Don't let anybody fool you. There's a shadow government, and a lot of you truthers know this, and then there's the corporate government, or the government that you guys know today. You know, the presidents, you know the whole story, the Congress, the Senate, all of that. But then there's a shadow government, right? And the deep thing about this shit is, y'all, is that the shadow government is getting ready to collide with the corporate government, based on some information that the shadow government discovered, and I saw this on the dark web, about some unilateral dealings and even some trades. When I say trades, I'm talking about traders, people in the U.S. government trading and selling out the corporation for international interests in Australia. And in this government right now, what you don't realize is that in this corporate government, it's totally being ran by rogues. You are now totally up under control by what you would probably call terrorists. I'm not saying I would consider it that, but what the government would label terrorists. And these two governments are getting ready to go to war because of a trade deal that was done that writes out what they call the shadow government, which is actually, believe it or not, the shadow aspect of government is the part of government that they hid from us. When those of you that are familiar with the Moorish Peace and Friendship Treaty and the other treaties that even other nations have with the United States that were hidden from us, this is what the shadow government is. And what they don't tell you is that the reason why the shadow government exists is because since the beginning of presidents, since the beginning of this shit, you've never really had a president that wasn't in debt. You never had a president that went into the White House that totally could say that he lived in the White House debt-free. The White House, regardless to what they tell you, is owned and has been owned by Native Americans, and was secretly moved from Philadelphia, believe it or not, to where it is today in Maryland. And the reason why they did this was because of secret sex rituals done years ago, back in the George Washington times. Secret sex rituals so that they could claim land here, so that they could stay here in the U.S. And this information that I'm telling you right now is going to lead to a global crash. Why? Because they're fighting over land because there's a hidden, and this is why I'm doing this under the number 16, and I'm going to shut down and come back up with you when I get more information. There's a hidden pyramid. Remember, the pyramid represents the dick or the penis or the phallus. There's a hidden pyramid in the United States. And if they get access to this hidden pyramid, they could totally control the internet. And this is what they want to do. And they've done, and it's funny because really history is repeating itself, because this is how they first got control of the White House and of some of the secrets from trades and sellouts from what was back then called the legitimate government. And it had to turn into a shadow government and go underground. And eventually, back in going into the 50s, because this started, you got to remember, this started in the 1700s. So by the time we get into the 1950s, this government is now totally nothing. Shadow government, totally nothing, totally extinct. And they replaced this government with what's called a corporate government. It's called the corporate U.S. There's a document you could have gotten a long time ago written by some of my great friends, actually. Now they used to be my teachers, but I consider them friends now. And I haven't spoke with them in a while, but it's called Cracking the Code. And in this document, when this document was written back in 92, 93, and presented, this is when the U.S. totally lost control and moved into what's called a corporate status. And this ties into the Million Man March and all of that too. And I'm going to go into all of this. Back in the 90s, man, this stuff happened. And they moved into a corporate status, and they started losing credit, so much credit to where they had to start offering up entities or beings or humans to Moloch. They had to start offering up sacrifices to this dark entity that you call a Baphomet or Moloch, which is actually a part of the shadow government because of a ritual that went bad, a ritual that went wrong back in the 1700s that led to a balloon of debt that busted in the 50s. You gotta remember this, it busted in the 50s, and it led to what used to be the government, which was supported by the Moorish Peace of Friendship Treaty or the Moroccan Peace of Friendship Treaty and other treaties, and was re-signed in the 50s up under a corporate status. And those in power at that time began to sell out through sexual rituals and began to trade their blood in through sexual rituals so that they could have more time here in this country based on a debt that was started in the 1700s. And that's why I want to make this very clear, based on the same ritual. See, when you see people like these Thomas Paine and all of these different people that supposedly signed the Declaration of Independence to grant us freedom, you got to remember this was done upon